I want to be sure I got on my, so I'm on my IG. I'm on my Facebook Live, and I'm on my YouTube Live. I got all of them up at the same time. Just want to drop some nuggets. Drop a little info on what's going on with Coach Smith. I see you, Joe. What's up, Joe? Appreciate you joining my if you're on my Facebook or you're on my IG or you're on my YouTube live following me. This is Coach Smith. Just dropping something real quick. I just want to share. You know, some of you may have heard me share this before. Some of you haven't. Hey, what's up, Joe? I see you, man. Appreciate you, brother. Always jumping in, joining. I got Bug Givens, BUG, one of my brothers from back in the day, playing ball, football, track. We did it all. I don't know where your brother at, where your big brother at, Biggie, Ernest Givens. Where is he at? I've been seeing you on social media. I've been checking you out, following you. But yeah, I got my folks on my YouTube and on my IG and my Facebook. So I'm hoping some more folks can jump on and get this information. But, you know, of course, I'm gonna post it and put it out there later on as well. Make sure. How you doing? Speaking to my neighbor. She's just getting in. She's a nurse like my wife. Just getting in. So I just want to get on here, you all. Get with my peoples about what's going on with my digital course. We're helping students through student athletes and parents through the recruiting process, because it can be cumbersome. It can be bittersweet. It can be stressful, of course, but the end result is all worth it. It's all worth it. But just want to be sure I just share a little bit of knowledge on what's coming, what I'm getting ready to bring out. I can get my phone to sit still, stop sliding. I think it's going to sit still now. But yeah, I'm trying to give some folks time to jump on here and get some nuggets I'm going to drop on what's happening with Coach Smith and Love the Game 24/7. Love the Game 24/7 coming at you with Coach Smith tonight on my IG, on my Facebook. My Facebook is Love the Game 27. My number was 27. So that's my Facebook site that a lot of people I know keep in contact with, classmates from high school, college, you name it, work, life. So you can find Coach Smith at Love the Game 27 on Facebook, or you can also join my Facebook group, Love the Game 24/7. Of course, you all who follow me on IG, this is Love the 27 Game. But like I said, my number was 27. And when I played football, so I appreciate you, Kim, joining. I'm just giving a little time for some folks to jump on my IG or on my Facebook that I'm live on, or my YouTube that I'm on live as well right now. And I shared yesterday on my social media that I'm putting together a digital course on helping student athletes and parents through the recruiting process. And so, and today I'll put out a free ebook and a video on my 6-step method, D.R.I.V.E.N, with the acronym D.R.I.V.E.N. I'll put that out there today. So if you haven't gotten it, go to my Facebook, Love the Game 27, or join my Facebook group, Love the Game 24/7. But get that free ebook and the video on the 6-step method, D.R.I.V.E.N, that I have out there, and also put out there. I'm putting together this digital course, and for the first 15 people who join, there's some more things I'm gonna, add with that free ebook for those people who first 15 people who join. I put together a template, 2 templates for student athletes. One of the templates is a recruiting letter on what needs to be in a recruiting letter, or you can send an email. And then the other template that I put together is a player profile that you need to have when student athletes are promoting themselves to these colleges. So that's what I'm giving free, or to the first 15 people who sign up. But they also, the first 15 people will get a 50% discount for the digital recruiting course that I'm putting together. But there's also some other things that will come with that, webinars that I'll be doing for student athletes and parents, live webinars and recordings and things of that nature. So those people who sign up, they'll have that information, and they can go back and look at it. And then we'll have Q&As and all those different types of things that's coming with my digital course that I'm putting out. But the main reason I want to just share tonight, and I'll go ahead and get started, is, I shared this on why I'm passionate about doing this, because when I grew up, didn't have, my parents weren't involved. I lost my father to, when I was about 14, 15 to cancer. He lost his battle with cancer. So instantly my mom became a single parent, and that was in 9th grade. But prior to that, I had an older brother who was playing at the high school where I went. And he experienced, and I experienced watching my brother and some of those ones before him and with him at the same high school that I came behind him, where we had this coach that just wasn't helping the guys. So a lot of guys at my high school and from that high school, and even in that city, in that county, weren't getting a lot of help from high school coaches. There were a few high school coaches that were, doing what I believe they should be doing and helping kids. But a lot of us was, that we grew up with each other. We were helping each other, even though we were playing against each other. Some of us, we played little league football with each other or against each other. And as we got to high school and experience and talking to each other and experiencing the same thing, where coaches weren't helping us get to school, we were doing it together. We were trying to help each other. And so I learned from watching my brother dealing with the same issue, where he had schools, top Division I schools recruiting him, SEC schools, ACC schools. My brother had well over a 3.0 GPA. He was, all conference, all county, all city. And he even led the state, I think, in interceptions his junior year at free safety. And 6 feet tall, so, but I saw his experience where the coach wasn't helping him. And he told me and made sure that he shared with me that I need to do everything I can do, because the coach here is not going to help us, not going to help you guys. So whatever you guys need to do, you need to make sure you help each other out, because we're not getting it. We're not getting it from our coaches. And so from having that experience as a young boy growing up and depending on a high school coach, thinking he's going to help us get to college, because it was plenty of us that had the talent to play at the next level, Division I, Division II, whatever it was. We had the grades, we had the test scores, we didn't, we had the character. But for whatever reason, we just had some coaches in our area. And as I grew up and went off to college and learned from talking to my college coaches, many of my college coaches who shared with me that it's always been difficult to work with high school coaches when it comes to recruiting a lot of times. So this wasn't just happening to us in our community. this is something that I realized talking to coaches who travel around the country recruiting kids, where I played college football in Iowa in Division II school, Morningside College. I'm learning that this is like an issue with teammates in college. Um, and so this is something that I'm definitely passionate about, helping and making sure that I do my part to help student athletes and parents get through the recruiting process, because it can be a headache. And so pretty much this program that I built is something that I built from personal experience. And I hear it all the time. I've coached over 10 years in high school sports, football and track. And I hear it all the time. I'll go to football camps, and I hear it all the time from parents in other places from around the country, and they're all saying the same thing. For the most part, they're not getting as much help as you think you should be getting from your high school coaches. A lot of times, there are a lot of good high school coaches who are going above and beyond. Trust me, they are. Because where I coached at Clearwater Central Catholic under Coach John Davis, he was one of those head coaches that went above and beyond, making sure his student athletes who desired to go to the next level, he would do everything he could. And I learned from him, some things from him as well. I'm trying to help student athletes. And so now I'm trying to make sure I do my part. And, it takes some investment, and I've been someone who was blessed to play at every level, from little league to high school, college, and professional. And I'm putting this digital course together from all those experiences. And I also have a son who's been blessed to play at every level. And right now, and 2 days ago, he spent 4 years with the New York Jets, and 2 days ago he was signed by the Arizona Cardinals. And so he's with the Arizona Cardinals franchise in the NFL, continuing his career. And thank God that he's blessed to get that opportunity. But everything he's done, everything he's learned, he got from his father, from me putting in from my experience. And so for you parents who may be experiencing some struggles, or they just don't know, and you may be getting help from coaches, I want to come in and be an addition, supplement. If you have a coach that's helping you, you still should have somebody, a third party, or somebody that's helping you. Because I wish I would have had it and wouldn't have had to struggle like I did to get the scholarship that I received. But I don't want some parents to have to go through this headache. And so this is why I'm, putting my program out there, my digital course on helping parents and students through recruiting. I'm not trying to, it's not very expensive. And I put a huge investment in my son going to camps, going to different things. And I had to learn some years when he was in high school, as I learned going to some of these camps, that maybe I didn't have to spend as much money at that time at this going to these camps. And so I learned, as he matriculated through high school, I learned how to navigate and use these summer camps to help him with his recruiting and get him exposed to the college coaches. He was able to earn him a scholarship to Boston College and graduated in 3.5 years with a communications degree out of Boston College, great institution. But you will never spend that much money like you would if your kid didn't get a scholarship and you had to pay for their education. My son went to Boston College, and when I looked at the cost of attendance to go to Boston College, it would have been well over $300,000 in 4 years. And I work in higher ed. I work at a state university. I work in financial aid. I work with student athletes. I work with students and parents on trying to help them find ways to pay for their kids' college education. So I know firsthand how expensive it can be as a college administrator who works as an assistant director. I know how expensive it can be. And I help people every day trying to navigate through that. So I bring that experience along with my football and sports knowledge and my recruiting digital course. It'll help any student athlete, male or female, whatever sport. You're going to hear me mainly talk about football, but this recruiting program is for any sport. It doesn't matter. It'll help. And so there's a lot of things that I'm going to be providing. So if you want to get more information about what's coming, and you want to get that free ebook that I put out there in the video on my 6-step method, driven, the acronym driven, um, you want to go out there, download it and get it. You can also go to my email, love the 247 game. That's love the 247 game at gmail.com. And I'm looking at the first 15 people that want to email me and say, as I said as you'll see, if you sign up to get the free ebook, I said, if you want to join, be sure to reply in your email, sign me up, coach. Um, if you want to be signed up. So I'm looking for the first 15 people that email me at love the 247 game at gmail.com. That's love the 247 game at gmail.com. First 15 people will get 50% discount off my digital college recruiting course. And like I said, I also have in there the 2 templates that I'll also give them, to help them and to, design letters for the head coach, position coach, offensive coordinator, or defensive coordinator. Depends on what position your child plays or what sport they're playing. This template pretty much, already pretty much tells you what needs to go in this letter. I already have it. You can just, back out the examples that I have in there and put that information there about your student athlete. But I'm also going to, like I said, provide webinars, live webinars, live Q&A for those people who join. I'm gonna give you all the nuts and bolts about it. All those who want to join with Coach Smith, and be sure you invest in your child's opportunity to play at the next level, especially if you believe and and it's obvious they have the ability to play at the next level. I'm going to do everything I can to help you, make that dream come true and help teach your student athlete about what they need to do, because they have to love the game 24/7 in all areas. They got to love the game 24/7 to reap the benefit and the success. It's hard work, but it's also beneficial. And trust me, I'll have my son come on here as a guest. He's going to be a guest. I'll have my son come on here, and he'll be on here to talk to some student athletes as well, and some other players that I help as well that are playing pro football or play college football at the major level. I'm going to have quite a few of those guys come on and tell you their story, and you'll hear straight from them on what it means to dedicate yourself to get that athletic scholarship. And if you have a child that has a skill set, there is scholarship money out there. Like I said, I'm a state university administrator. I've worked at the junior college, state university, private university, Department of Education. So I have over 24 years, I should say. I'm getting ready to come up with my 25 years of working in higher education. So like I said, I know firsthand, college is not cheap. And if you invest in your student athlete now, the return on your investment is going to be huge. Okay, but we're going to talk about everything. My son has had to deal with injuries, so we need to have discussion on how athletes need to take care of themselves. We're going to be talking about all these types of things. When things don't seem to be going their way, my son right now, some of the things he had to deal with, he's in the NFL right now. There were conversations where he wasn't sure if he was going to be able to get opportunity. But from my knowledge and experience, I had to help him, get over that thought that maybe it won't happen because things weren't going the way we thought they were going to go. And sometimes things don't always go the way you want to go, but it still doesn't mean you can't fulfill your dream of playing college sports. And for those who may get the opportunity to play at the professional level, I'm going to give it all to you, for those folks who want to join and get in on this digital course. We're going to We're going to talk about everything. We're going to touch on everything that to help your student athlete be successful at the next level, to at least get their education paid for. Like I said, my son was at Boston College. Even though he graduated in 3.5 years, he dedicated himself going to summer school. So when the opportunity to go to the next level came, he didn't have to worry about trying to finish his degree. So he dedicated and committed himself to that. And he would tell you right now today, there was a lot of things he sacrificed from what his mom and dad told him that he has. We saw that he had an opportunity. I saw it since he was a little boy, because he followed behind his dad pursuing pro football when he was a baby, when I would train. So there's some things as parents you can pick up on and know if your student athlete has what it takes, but it has to be something they want to pursue, that they have to love 24/7. And then when you see that they love it 24/7, like I never had to push my son to get up and go lift weights or go train or go throw the football. He was a quarterback, or to do those things. I mean, a lot of times he was pulling me to come along, because I'm like, man, I had my days. I'm just coaching. But hey, as a dad who knew, I got myself up because I knew with him it was an investment. My younger son, he was serious about his books. He had his time playing sports and wanted to go the route with just getting his education. And because he was smart and brilliant, and because I work in higher ed, I was aware of scholarships. Um, I was aware of scholarships that that he could pursue. So I'm bringing all this knowledge, guys, from Love the Game 24/7. And so, like I said, go out to my Facebook. All right, go out to Love the Game 27. I'll put it out there. I'll put the information out there. How's it going? Good to have you. Is it Zalky Fall Sports? It looks like. I hope I pronounced that right. Good to have you with us. I'm just sharing about my experience and not having um, help from a high school coach or coaches. Not just myself, but guys I grew up with. We all kind of struggled through that with getting help, and so I was just been sharing a little bit about that and why I'm so passionate about making sure that I'm offering my digital course to help student athletes and parents navigate um, through recruiting, because it can be bittersweet, because I remember times when my son wasn't getting or he felt like he wasn't being as recognized um, as he should. Hey, hi guys, how you doing? Glad to join. Glad you can join. But yeah, there were times when my son didn't think he was being highly recruited. But little did he know, because some things I was doing behind the scenes, he's helping with his recruiting, and also making him do, because there were some things I had him do, because you got to teach your student athletes, they got to put some skin in the game as well. So, like I said, with my program, with my digital course, and for those first 15 people who sign up who can go to and get the free ebook off my Facebook site that I shared. So if you haven't gone to my Facebook site, you want to go. I'm live right now on Facebook, on my YouTube, and my IG right now. Um, you can join my Facebook group. Love the Game 247 is my Facebook group. Or you can go to and get the free ebook there, or you can go to my personal Facebook site. But I prefer you to go to my Facebook group, Love the Game 247, and you can get the free ebook there, and get with your student athlete, watch the 6-step method driven video that I have on that with that free ebook. But like I said earlier, for those of you all who just jumped on, I'm giving the first 15 people who want to sign up. Right now, I'm finishing up some things with my digital course. But for the first 15 people who email me at love the247game, that's love the 247game at gmail.com. First 15 people who want to email me and say, sign me up, coach, will get a 50% discount on my digital course, and they will get 2 templates that I put together to help your student athlete with their recruiting letter and with their recruiting player profile. And like I said, this is for any sport, male or female. My program, even though you hear me talk mostly about football, this is recruiting, you know, from my own personal experience that I had to deal with, and I took what I had to deal with and refined it to make sure I help my son and many other kids that I coached, um, to help them with their recruiting. So you're getting, Coach Smith, who played at every level, was blessed to have an opportunity to play at every level. I have a son that's has played at every level and is playing right now. And I shared earlier, he just signed with the Arizona Cardinals. This is his 5th year in the NFL coming up, and he just signed his an opportunity to be with the Arizona Cardinals. Right now, he'll be on the practice squad because he was nursing a knee injury when he was in training camp with the New York Giants. And so he had to take an injury settlement to get himself rehabbed, and he's good. Thank God he didn't need any surgery. He just needed time to rehab. And so he's ready. He's full go. Um, but like I said, I'm going to have him and other people as guests. I'm going to have my former college coach, who has coached at every level in college football. He's coached at the HBCU. He coached. He was the first white coach to coach in an all-black conference. Um, I mean, he knew Eddie Robinson personally. Everybody know Eddie Robinson in HBCU football. Know Eddie Robinson was the man, one of the winningest coaches still today in college football. But I'm bringing my former coach Dave Doach. He might be listening now. Um, I'm bringing Coach Doach. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be heading out to Iowa um, in October for um, one of my former teammates, Anthony Fieldings from Eustis, Florida, is getting inducted into the Hall of Fame at Morningside University. Um, Anthony was a sophomore when I was a senior at Morningside, and he's getting inducted. And Anthony went on to play at with the Dallas Cowboys and Buffalo Bills. Um, and he's doing some great things back home in his hometown in Eustis, Florida area, Orlando area, with helping kids with camps and all those different things. I'm gonna snatch him. I'm gonna see him in a couple of weeks, and I'm gonna make sure I talk to him about what I'm doing. I'm gonna get him on some of the webinars because I'm gonna give you folks the real deal. I'm gonna bring people on here who are gonna definitely help, provide you the information and the knowledge about what it takes and what they need to do to get to the next level. Um, I'm all about trying to help dreams come true, um, for student athletes, especially to have every opportunity. Just like, even though I had to rough it and get it the hard way, um, nobody should have to do it, have to go through that. Um, like I said, there's some high school coaches out there do a great job, but there are some high school coaches who I don't think, who should be coaches. And I experienced that growing up, with some people who shouldn't have been coaches or shouldn't have been the head coach, who should have been decision makers when recruiters came around. And so a lot of people are dealing with those types of things and they need help. And so um, I'm providing and putting together this digital course. And like I said, for the first 15 people who sign up at loveth247game@gmail.com, you're going to get a 50% opportunity to get 50% off. And you're going to get 2 templates to help your student athlete form their letter, their recruiting letter, and also form their recruiting player profile. Um, these are things I had that nobody told me about as a kid growing up. No high school coach told me about. These are things I had to learn, guys, on my own and had to figure it out. Because, like I said, I lost my father, you know, at a young age. But because he put enough in me and my mom put enough in me. All right, I see you, Dillard. I see you, Dillard. Um, Appreciate you joining, man. You know firsthand because you were at. Look here, I got a Lakewood legend that just joined, Rodney Dillard, who can tell you firsthand like what I'm talking about, not getting help from the high school coach. But hey, when you're 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", and you're a beast in high school, you're a man, grown man in high school, everybody and their mama's gonna want to recruit you. What's up, Dillard? I'm talking about you, Dillard. That's right. What's up? I'm talking about you. When you're a man child in high school, I don't care what coach that doesn't want to help you. Like we had. We didn't have a coach that wanted to help us. And that's the truth. But Rodney Dillard, who's on here right now, he can tell you firsthand He went on to Arizona State. He went on to Arizona, still in Arizona. And Rodney, I don't know if you know Rodney, but Jeff just signed with the Cardinals. So if you are still on here, he just signed with the Arizona Cardinals. Been out there for the past few days. So yeah, we gonna connect in Arizona. When I come out there, we gonna go live so I can have folks see you, because you know firsthand the stuff we dealt with in high school and not having help. And you on here, so I know you can vouch for Coach Smith and what I'm talking about and how we had to make things happen for ourselves, because a lot of guys in our city, in our county, weren't getting that help from the high school coaches like they should have been. Um, so yeah, I'll give him your number for sure, absolutely. Um, and he's on the practice squad right now, trying to get his knee. Thank God it wasn't anything major, but he's healthy, and he's out there on the practice squad getting ready to get back in shape. So I think they'll give him a couple of weeks, a few weeks, and hopefully he'll get activated, man. But yeah, I'll give him your number, and for sure I'm gonna hit you up when I get ready to come out there to see him play. Because the first time they activate him, I'm gonna be there. I appreciate you joining me, brother. But yeah, I'm gonna have you. You're gonna have to come on here live. I'm gonna get you scheduled, because you're gonna have to come on here live and tell it. So for you all who are listening, whether you're on my IG live or my Facebook live or my YouTube live, I got one of my older brothers, teammate Rodney Dillard, who played at Arizona State. Um, but he'll be able to vouch for me and tell you that, hey, I'm gonna let you know for sure. I'm gonna get you, brother. But I appreciate you joining, man. You tell anybody that need help in your area, if you got some folks around there that's not neat, that's having a hard time with this recruiting, you put them in contact with Coach Smith with Love the Game 247. And but I definitely want to have you, brother, um, on one of my webinars, kind of talk about how you went through your recruiting process and what you had to deal with, and the things that you did on your own, because we weren't getting the help, you know. And so I gleaned from guys like Rodney, my older brother, and many the ones before me that would always tell us what we needed to do to get out of St. Pete, Florida, and go off and play college ball somewhere, because it was many of us that could have gone and played Division I football or just college football in general somewhere. There was a few guys that lost their dream, lost their passion because they weren't getting help. You know, and there was a few of us, well, quite a few of us, out of Lakewood High School, LHS, in St. Petersburg, Florida, Pinellas County, Tampa Bay. And right now we still put out a lot of ball players out of that one high school, out of the city, county, period. We still put out a lot. Valdez Scantling for the Green Bay Packers. I tell my son, even though he didn't go to Lakewood, he got Lakewood all in him. He got all that in him. So he knows what time it is. But we got plenty of them, man, that that come out of our area, out of our right off our streets. Still today, it's talent all over the place. And so, but I don't want anybody to have to deal with stuff like we had to deal with, and trying to figure all this stuff out on our own without coaches helping. And that shouldn't be the case. But if it is, no need to worry. You got Coach Smith with Love the Game 247. Go out to my group, Facebook group, join my Facebook group. Okay, get out there and join it, share it with other student athletes and parents that you know. I'm working with kids from middle school all the way up to high school. I'm not just working with high school, because it starts about fifth grade, in whatever sport they're playing. But I'm working with middle school to high school kids, because there's things you can do early with your kids to start getting them exposed, and especially with NIL going on. Some kids need to learn how to interview. Some kids need to learn how to speak, because there's opportunities for them now with NIL to market themselves, to make money, even at the high school level. Um, and we got to make sure they stay humble, and that they use it for the right way. Because even when you're getting all these things, you got to be able to perform on that field. Like Deion Sanders has been saying, he's looking for dogs on that field. And just like he told you, when he stepped on the field, you had prime time. And when he got off the field, you had Deion Sanders. And that's literally the mentality that we have. I mean, that's how we were raised in Florida. I don't know about how you guys were raised wherever else you're from. I'm sure you did. But I know where we grew up in Florida, we had that's the mentality. When you go in that field, you got to be somebody else because you love the game, you love the camaraderie, you love the spirit of playing sports, and especially football and basketball. You know, um, but like, and as Dion has told you, he ain't hard to find. And those other coaches aren't hard to find. When you're a dog on that field, and the video shows it, and when those recruiters come see you physically, and what they've seen on film matches up to what when they come see you in person matches up, you won't be hard to find. That's going to be your reply to Coach Deion Sanders. Coach, I ain't hard to find. That's what you want your student athlete to be able to say to these recruiters. I ain't hard to find. And so that's what Love the Game 247 wants to build. I want to build some dogs, and give you student athletes opportunity to play at the next level, because there's nothing like, to me, I'm just a sports lover. And for all those who out there are sports lovers, to me, there's no greater tool to teach your student athlete, to teach your child discipline and perseverance and adversity, and to make them strong, how to deal with life, how to build relationships, how to avoid certain relationships, or how to, love on people. There's a lot of guys, man, that I played with that, some good people. And sometimes we don't always get along because we always spend a lot of time with each other. But you grow up because they're like your brothers, and all those years you're playing, little league football, 4 years in high school playing with the same guys, you become brothers. Same thing in college, 4 years in college, and if you have the blessing to play the next level, you know, but yeah, so I appreciate y'all joining. Like I said, share with your friends and families who have student athletes, middle school age to high school age, to go out to my Facebook, Love the Game 24/7, and get that free ebook. Send me an email if you want to sign up and get the digital course to teach your student athlete and parents how to master through the recruiting process, how to master it, because college is not cheap. All right. It is not. The prices aren't going down for tuition. It's just not. And we already have the issue with the president trying to reduce loan debt. You know, um, and so I know the feeling on both ends, because I was not initially on a full scholarship my first year, because I was still waiting for the Division I offers to come. And so the offer I got in Division II under Coach Lovett, he had to use some of that money, so I wasn't on full scholarship. So I had to get like a $10,000-$12,000 loan for my freshman year. But after that, because I was a dog, I was a baller, I was on full scholarship from my sophomore year on. So you don't want to have your student to have college debt if they're an athlete. If they're an athlete, and sometimes you may not go. Like I said, I had to go where I could when I wasn't getting help from my high school coach, and make the best of my opportunity. And to this day, I was glad that I went to Morningside University in Sioux City, Iowa, and meeting some of the folks that I still have great relationships with today. Good people, teammates, classmates. It was great football. North Dakota State, North Dakota, South Dakota State, Mankato State, Northern Colorado, St. Cloud State, you name it. Augustana, we had some great football. And that whole league that I was in has moved to FCS after I graduated. When they were trying to make us 1AA back when I was in college, I wish they would have done it. But a few years after I graduated, they moved that whole conference to FCS, because that's how strong it was. We actually were the best conference in Division II football, because North Dakota State usually was the one that always won the national championship in Division II. And it was always 4 or 5 schools out of our conference that went to the national playoffs. So that's how competitive it was. And there was a lot of pro athletes that came out of that league. Phil Hansen, for some of you Buffalo Bill fans, I played all 4 years against Phil Hansen. He was the other DN on the other side of that great defense back in the day with the Buffalo Bills, even though they lost those Super Bowls. But Phil Hansen was a beast. North Dakota kid. That boy he was a beast. I had to block him on many occasions, or thought I was blocking him. And sometimes I got it done. But yeah, uh, you want to be sure that you give your student athlete every opportunity to get their education paid for. Parents, you want to be sure that if you have a student athlete, male or female, they can get that education paid for. It's not cheap. So I just want to appreciate you all joining me on Facebook if you're on Facebook, or if you join me on IG, for joining me on Instagram. And if you're on my YouTube channel, thank you for joining me on my YouTube channel. But I just want to take some time out to let you know about my digital recruiting course that's coming. And so for those who want to sign up early, you're going to have the opportunity. You're going to get some kickbacks for signing up early. And so share this with your family members, friends, enemies, neighbors that you know that have student athletes, middle school to high school. Let's get them what they deserve. If you need, an advocate, along with your student athlete that's getting recruited, to sometimes deal with your high school coach. Yeah. If you need somebody to look at some video and different things, or to help break it down on what your student athlete needs to do to be recognized and get exposed, to these schools, and how you need to do this, the camps, you name it, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it all with Love the Game 24/7. So go to my Facebook site, get the free ebook, send me an email at lovethe247game@gmail.com, and get and be a part of something big, something great. Get in early. You'll get a 50% discount with joining my digital course, and I'm going to do everything and show you, student athlete, and your parents how to navigate through the recruiting process, because it is not, like I said, it was tough me doing this stuff on my own growing up as a kid. I enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy it when I wasn't getting help from my coach. But it was still possible, and it still happened. And so I'm thankful for that. And so, like I said, I coached for over a decade, and I know what it takes. I know what you need to do. I already have some tools and some things already in place with the templates, the recruiting letter template, and the player profile letter template. And also, we'll be able to help student athletes with NIL opportunities, on how student athletes need to be sure they know how to interview, they know how to speak, because companies want to be sure, they have good character, that you don't have stuff on your social media that's not appropriate, or whatever the case. Student, I had to be on my son about certain things. Be careful who you follow, be careful what you like. All those things are important, because when you're trying to eat and get that scholarship, or when you're trying to eat and get that opportunity to play the next level, my son, when I get him on here, he'll tell you they get graded. They're paying you millions of dollars. NFL players get graded on what their social media site looks like. And he was thankful. I remember him coming back telling my wife and I, he was thankful that we were on him about that, because he got graded high. He scored real high, but there were some guys that didn't on his team in the NFL. It doesn't mean they're bad people or anything like that, man. Sometimes guys don't pay attention enough of their what's on their site. Sometimes with people they follow, might be somebody they know, or whatever the case, and something might pop up and they have no idea. But because of where they are, being a professional athlete, you got to be or a college athlete, you got to be very careful. And so you got to make sure you're paying attention to things. And sometimes, they get busy with training and schoolwork, or whatever it is, or life if you're in the pros. And sometimes you may not be paying attention. So, if you got to hire somebody, you're at the pro level, and you got to hire somebody to help oversee your social media, and then you do that, because you don't want to miss out on any business opportunities. It's not somebody not wanting you to be yourself. No, you be yourself. Deion Sanders is showing people that you be who you are. He's always done that. He's always understood marketing. He's been a great example of that. But no, you be who you are, but still you got to be wise. Sorry about that. I had a pause. Um, but yeah, you don't change and not be who you are. Appreciate you guys joining, folks still joining, but I appreciate that. Like I said, I don't want to keep folks long because I know it's Thursday night football because I'm all about football. Um, but like I shared, I'll have my son come on and some other guys that young men that I work with that play at a high level in their sport, football, whatever else it may be, to help give you firsthand knowledge. To also let you know that Coach Smith is credible. Like I said, I have a son playing pro football. I'll get him on here to tell you about, you know, what he learned from his dad going through his recruiting process, even when he didn't think um, he was going to get a major scholarship. Um, but he did. He was blessed to do that. Um, and I'm thankful as I look back on the tough things that I went through that God allowed me to go through, losing a father um, in an important time in my life when I needed a dad, you know, wasn't no fault of his because he got cancer from where he worked. Um, but I see you, Medi. All right, Medi, I'm gonna have you on. I'm gonna have you on here, Medi. I told you I'm gonna have you on here. So get ready. I'm gonna have to schedule you to come on here. Medi played with my son at Boston College. He's from the Orlando area. I'm gonna get you on here. Appreciate you joining. I'm gonna get you on here to talk about your recruiting process, so you can help me give these folks firsthand knowledge about what it takes to play at a top level. You know, Medi was a free safety at BC with my son Jeff, and so um, but these are some great young men, um, and so um, my battery's is going low, so I'm not gonna be on here too much longer because my battery is dying. Um, but yeah, I appreciate you guys joining. I'm gonna be doing some more things, but I'm gonna have, like I said, Rodney Dillard, who played with my brother in high school. I'm gonna get him on here. He played at Arizona State. I see Mediz jumped on here. He played with my son at BC. Um, I want to give you folks some real people, who went through this and who can share with you. I'm gonna provide this to you so you'll get the help and clarity that you need going through this recruiting process. Medi can tell you, Rodney Dillard can tell you. Um, um, so you're gonna get some firsthand knowledge about all of this and what it takes. Right. Um, and so I'm not gonna leave you out there hanging with joining my program, joining mine and purchasing my digital course. You guys, my goal is, you know, for you guys is to be sure you get an opportunity. Um, I want to under promise and over deliver. That's my goal. I don't make a lot of promises. I'm just going to show you, and you got to do the work. You got to have some skin in the game, because that's when it's worth it, and you got to make sure your student athlete put their skin in the game, parents. When my son, he played football and baseball. He even had some Major League Baseball teams come after him. He had about 5 or 6 Major League Baseball teams that were touting him out of high school. He played with a real good baseball team. They loaded with talent. Went to the state tournament his junior and senior year. He was one of the starting pitchers in the pitching rotation, I believe, his junior year. I think senior year he was too, but I know his junior year, and he was also a center fielder. Um, but yeah, he got some letters. He got some calls here and there that I took from Major League Baseball. But I didn't buy. I know he wanted one of those expensive helmets, but he had to earn that expensive helmet. And so I told him, by your junior year, if you start getting recruited and you're serious about it, I'll buy those Cam Newtons. I bought him them Cam Newtons and bought him the shunt helmet. But he had to put some skin in the game before I spent that kind of money. Same thing with baseball. I told him, I said, hey, I'm trying to help make sure you have options and not just play football. But you were good in baseball, so I was trying to do everything I can, football, baseball, track, whatever it was that they were good at, to make sure I was putting, investing in them in my kids early. So I knew the end result being a college administrator, because it's expensive at the college. I know what it costs. I know it's not cheap. So I was doing everything on my end to invest in my kids because they had the talent. I don't care if it was music. My dad did the same thing to us when it came to music. He made me take trumpet lessons, clarinet lessons, and I did the same thing with my kids, um, to make sure I find out what they were good at, to help them use that skill set, to help them in life. And so yeah, before I bought those expensive baseball bats and gloves, I'm like, man, you got to get some letters from some colleges with baseball before I go buy a $300, $200 bat. I need to you need to get a letter from some Major League Baseball teams. Well, sure enough, they came. So I bought the bat. I had to, you know, keep my word. Um, and so, and because he had those things happen, I went ahead and put out the money, you know, for those things to help him, So, um, and so it paid off. Even if he didn't play pro football, it paid off that he got a scholarship, right? The icing on the cake is that he's playing pro football. That's just, the extra benefit. So, but like I said, there's a lot of things that these kids can do when they're done playing their sport, whether they make it to the pros or not. There's a lot of things, athletic programs, coaching, behind the camera, in front of the camera. There's so many things, trainers. There's so many opportunities in the business of sports that if you love still being around the sport but no longer playing, there's a lot of opportunity. And so we have to teach our student athletes that as well, to take every advantage when they're in school, to learn these other skills and talents that they have while they're playing their sport, to give them opportunity for life after their sport, or if they continue to be able to play that sport. Well, that's enough of me jabbering on, guys. I appreciate y'all joining me. Like I said, tell your friends and your family about Love the Game 27. Okay, because I'm gonna teach a master class with my digital course on mastering the recruiting process. So I appreciate y'all. Much love. Enjoy the game tonight. Um, but like I said, I'll be sharing some things too when I get on the sideline watching my son play, and some of the other guys that I have, that are like sons to me, that are playing ball. When I go see them play, you're gonna get all that action. You're gonna get all that content. I'm gonna share it with you, give you upfront and personal, let you see. Um, but I love y'all. Appreciate you. Praying for you, and look forward to um, helping some dreams come true. All right. Y'all be blessed tonight. Coach Smith signing off.